This winter's rainy season started out pretty much like any other rainy season. Maybe it started out a little bit early. Maybe it started out in November instead of December. And maybe the rains were a little bit heavier than usual because it would rain. And this water, these huge puddles would form on the desert floor, and they would be there for a week at a time, waiting for the ground to open up and absorb them. A rainy season that usually lasts from December to January started in November and was still going strong at the end of March. During this time, multiple atmospheric rivers cross the southwestern United States, threatening dams as far away as Utah. And it was water from all these areas that ended up funneling into the Sonoran Desert. So let me take you on a journey through the Sonoran Desert during this time of massive flooding. And I wanted to show you something that was completely unexpected: the amount of life and flowers that came in the wake of all this water. A week later, it was like the earth opened up and started to consume the water. And immediately, the flowers carpeted the desert floor. Most of these areas, I've never been able to see water in them. So I feel really lucky that I did get to see them, even though it was flooding. And I've seen a lot of spring blooms, but this spring bloom was really magnificent. I just haven't seen this many flowers carpeting the floor before. And the other really unique thing is the minute you drove outside of the Sonoran Desert, everything was the same. It was like everything else wasn't getting rain, and it looked like the desert. So the Sonoran Desert this year was really super special. It didn't look like a desert. It was so green. At times I thought that maybe I was on the Hawaiian Islands, or maybe I was in another state. It was just so spectacular. You know, you can always learn something from nature. And one of the things that really caught my attention was how the desert handled the water. The desert, it's been in drought for 20 years. Its soil was like crust. And when the water first started coming in, the soil was so tough, it couldn't absorb the water, and the water just sat on it for a week at a time. And over the next 4 months, as more and more rain came in, more and more of the soil loosened up. And by the end of March, all of a sudden, the soil was consuming the water. It was opening up and accepting the water. And I think about that, and I think about that with disease. Sometimes we've mistreated ourselves for so long that our body just can't quite handle whatever we give it. And as we start working on our health again, and as we start trying to pull ourselves back to where we want to be so that we can do the things that we want to do, It takes time. And then suddenly, when you've given your body enough time, when you've taken enough care of yourself, it's like it suddenly opens up and it accepts everything again, and you're able to do what you want to do again. Okay, guys, thanks for coming out, and until next time, I'll catch you on the other side.